This is the most hilarious company ever. This is that Brian Johnson guy's company. The guy wants to live forever. On the back it says Brian Johnson is the most measured person in history and a professional rejuvenation athlete. I kind of want to be a professional rejuvenation athlete. Maybe that'll be my next sport I join. What is up, YouTube? Gotta whisper right now because the baby is still sleeping. It's 7 a.m. It's leg day, early morning workout, full day of eating. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I'm gonna jump into it because we gotta get to the gym and get moving. My breakfast has been between a smoothie, or what I'm doing today, which is steak and nut butter. I did like a food allergy test and I was allergic to almonds, cashews, which are my favorite types of nut butters. Peanuts a little bit, they weren't bad, but macadamia is not at all. So I have this macadamia nut butter. Actually tastes fire, and I just cooked this up on a pan in butter, more fat, whatnot. I'm ready to roll. Since working with Justin, I never liked having carbs in the morning, but I didn't know why. But now understanding the whole, like, if you eat a bunch of carbs in the morning, you're spiking an insulin response, which sucks a bunch of amino acids, literally. All the amino acids in your muscle except tryptophan. Tryptophan's a precursor for serotonin. Serotonin makes you like tired and chill and like lofty. Not really good right before a workout. So if you have like a high fat, 0 to low carb breakfast, you're more likely to keep tyrosine in your blood, which is a precursor for dopamine, and you're ready to be motivated, drive, you'll kick ass in the gym. So no carbs for breakfast, which is sad because I love pancakes and waffles, but it is what it is. We cook everything now in like butter or beef tallow. I'm not dieting, so I don't really care about calories anymore. So I literally just have steak prepped pretty much every day. Take it out in the morning, fry it up in some butter, add some almond butter or macadamia nut butter, and then rock and roll. Alright, so that's breakfast. This is my like horribly ugly meal, but honestly tastes fire. Actually, I didn't add salt to it. That's the other crucial thing in the morning. When I wake up, I have this Yeti sitting in my bathroom, and I put salt in it the night before, so I drink like a liter before I train with a bunch of salt. Salt the shit in my meal, some electrolytes in my thing, my pre-workout, and then I'm hydrated, ready to rock. So I like to at least get like an hour and a half, plus like over a liter of water in me, plus electrolytes before I train.
You could be dieting it all into the wedding?
I want to be. My nutrition was pretty bad for a while because I wasn't competing.
Yeah.
I was eating like 3 times a day maybe. I'm trying to eat more now to ramp up my metabolism and my body's burning. So I want to do that for like a couple of weeks just to make sure I'm actually in a good place to start a diet. And then I want to cut down before the wedding a little bit. Strictly just so my face looks good though. Like, I don't really care. But then when I get back from that trip, game on, I'm trying to get jacked as fuck. Alright, so final breakfast. Put it into the trusty Standard app. Goated macro tracking. Sick update coming for it soon. That's gonna make my life easier. But this meal comes out to 480 calories, 40 grams of protein, 32 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs. So obviously very fat dominant. Not a lot of calories, but I had enough carbs the night before. Had some toast and butter before bed, so we're locked in. Glycogen stores are full. Just getting a little bit of nutrients and fat in me right now to get me through this workout. Tastes surprisingly good putting like a nut butter on steak too, with butter. So, I'll get some pre-workout after this and go train legs. Alright, so I did a clearing of the supplements here and here because I had way too many, and now I'm like wishing I had more flavors, so that's my fault. I go between Essential and Thabbage every day. My typical go-to recently is 1 scoop of Thabbage because I'm being a little pussy, essentially. If I train later in the day, I double scoop it. But since I cut caffeine out for a while, my like caffeine receptors were a lot more efficient, I guess. I don't know the proper terminology, but I was able to lock in with this. So technically it's built to be 2 scoops, but it's also packed enough that 1 scoop is good enough for what you need. So I take some of that. Some days I take an extra cognizant just for fun. Then if I have a bum energy, I have a triple dose of cognizant for the day. So 1 scoop Thabbage, a little bit of cognizant, and we're ready to rock for the workout. It's funny, if I don't take pre-workout in the morning, because if I eat carbs and then have like a coffee and then go to the gym, I'm pretty like meh. But if I don't eat carbs, have a pre-workout, even maybe a little bit of nootropics, which we're actually making a sick nootropic for raw, but do that, I'm like locked in at the gym way more efficiently. So that's all I gotta say. Proof is in the pudding. We're gonna take this, get to the gym, keep waking up on the way there, and show you guys what my new leg workout is like. Actually, it's a lie. I'm not doing that in this video, so pretend I didn't say that. Alright, so we just wrapped up the workout. Not going to include the workout in the full day of eating because it's a full day of eating, so, but we did film it. But post-workout nutrition, I guess backtracking, intro workout nutrition, I had like 35, 40 grams of carbs, a bunch of electrolytes, and some 1 scoop of EAAs, which is like 8 grams of amino acids in there. And then post-workout, typically my day looks like the breakfast I showed you, train, and then I do 2 scoops of goated dark chocolate protein. The flavor I will never get sick of because I've had this probably 5,000 bottles of this in my lifetime. You got your little extra for good luck because you never know. I try and get at least 50 grams of protein in from that. And then I run out the door with a cadence bar. This is my current go-to. The carbs I have post-workout kind of vary depending what I have access to, but we got a couple boxes of these here. So this is 40 grams of carbs, and the first ingredient in here is rice crisps. So it's pretty much like eating rice. Essentially rice and protein. And there's a bunch of sodium in there too. So I gotta run, shower, then have a meeting, and then I'll have lunch typically like around noon. So 50 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs post-workout. And I also, I think I talked about this in my last video, I've been just like adding amino acids, you know, pills, because why not? I feel like more aminos, more protein synthesis. That one study that came out that everyone was talking about, that they did a study on like 30 to 100 grams of protein ingested at one time, and even at 100 grams, it had a higher increase of protein synthesis in the body. I cannot say that word with a lisp. Wow. Had a higher percentage of whatever, you know the word, compared to 30 grams, so there was no upper limit in the study. And I'm a bodybuilder, 250 pounds, so bring me all the aminos I can get. So that's it. I got a jet. I'll see you guys for lunch. Alright, here's meal number 2 technically, but also protein shake. I got sweet potato here, chicken, and green beans. We're working on our gut diversity here, so I'm trying not to eat just chicken and rice every day. I threw in some green beans and some sweet potato. I have 200 grams of chicken breast, 180 grams of sweet potato, and I don't know how many green beans, so it's like 550 calories, 60 grams of protein, 15 grams of fat, 36 grams of carbs. This is typically my lunch. There's a lot of stuff going on. A bunch of people in town, and we're having a meeting in my office. So last month, maybe like 10 times, I've actually gone up on the roof and like left my phone behind and just sat in the sunlight and got some fresh air because I feel like I just like get cooped up in here all day. And it's kind of nice enjoying my food up there. And we were talking before this too, like your body digests food so much better when you're in like a relaxed, calm state. Whereas before, and I still do this a lot, but I would just like get a meal, go in there and have like a Zoom call or to do something and just like be like back and forth eating instead of actually like sitting down and enjoying and eating your food, letting your body rest and digest and all the good stuff. And you actually efficiently make more hydrochloric acid so your body can actually digest food, specifically high amounts of protein. So a lot of people fuck their stomach up, bodybuilders, by eating a shit ton of protein in a stressful state and can't digest it. So do as I say, not as they do. But this is meal number 2, plus a shake, 2.5. Alright, so this is meal number 3. This is, I mean, first of all, we're on the roof, so I guess I already talked about that, but this is where I come sometimes for a meal because we're trapped inside an office and I want some fresh air and some sunlight. Normally the sun's right about there at noon, so I sit here because this is the one spot with no rust right there, and I just sit and chill, and I try not to look at my phone and get some energy from the sunlight, get a nice little tan, fresh air, decompress from a day stuck in an old office. But this meal, I can't remember what the rice is in it, honestly. I think it's 160 grams of rice and 180 grams of chicken from Megafit with their buffalo sauce. which is really good, but also really spicy. I typically have like 10 to 15 frozen meals in my freezer at all time from MegaFit that I try and like restock, and then I try and keep a couple in the fridge thawed, ready to go at any time. So on days like today where I'm training legs and I'm trying to rebuild my metabolism again, I'm bringing 2 meals to work. For a while I was only bringing 1. So if I had like a shake in the morning and then after a workout maybe have another shake, and then I'd only bring 1 meal to work, I'd barely be eating by the time I got home if it was like 6 o'clock. So I'm trying to bring 2 meals now, eat in the morning, and then by like 2-3 p.m. I'm already 3 meals in a shake deep. So that's what I'm using MegaFit for, because cooking that many meals in a week is no bueno. And we have a child now, so Courtney's not just taking care of me as a baby anymore. She's got to take care of a real baby. So 1 meal a day cooked by me, 1 meal a day cooked by MegaFit, and we're good to go. And I really do believe in rebuilding metabolism by eating more meals, more smaller meals more frequently throughout the day. Instead of going long periods of time without eating and then eating like a huge meal at the end of the day, being able to spread them out, your body gets used to constantly getting food and nutrients, so it doesn't need to hold on to it, so your metabolism speeds up. Thyroid gets flying, you get more energy, and you can eat more. So when I start dieting, I can eat higher calories and burn more fat without having to starve myself as much. So that's the goal. Meal number 3, not very exciting, but the bodybuilder will never die in me eating chicken and rice. Alright, so I just got home. I have another call at, it's like 6, so I'm making myself a little beverage. Courtney's like the queen of making these drinks. I dabble every now and then. I don't make them quite like her, but just like health and wellness kind of energy, hydration type good stuff. So put some water in here. And then Courtney's famous for her matcha drinks. So she's got the bougie ceremonial grade Japanese matcha. There's a little bit of caffeine in this, but barely a little bit. I normally wouldn't have a lot of caffeine this late, but you can handle a little bit from a little green tea like matcha. It's also one of the most powerful antioxidants ever. It's like 50 times more antioxidants in it than in blueberries. So super fire. Then mix it with a little bit of this saffron powder. Saffron is supposed to be this like all natural. Don't quote me on this because I'm stealing someone else's quote who's smarter than me, but the dude called it like an all natural SSRI. Obviously it's not quite as powerful as an SSRI, but it's like a calming mood booster, kind of like Zen, helps you kind of chill out. Then a little bit of collagen because I'm injured, trying to rebuild my tendon strength and my gut health. So then go into the pantry. Do a scoop of the sun fiber. This fiber is like the most easily digestible. It's a soluble fiber. It's also great for trying to help lower cholesterol and just super easy on your gut to digest. And some creatine. If I have a smoothie in the morning, I'll typically put that in this and that. Or I used to have some at my gym, but the bottle right now. So I'm adding my creatine at night right now. But I'm only putting in this right now. Ice comes last. If you mix it too early, it gets like clumpy and powdery around the ice and you're screwed. But just like that, I got a nice little antioxidant matcha, mood boosting saffron, gut healing fiber, gain building creatine drink. How's that for our marketing? Should be good. The key is Japanese ceremonial grade matcha. If you get that shit from America or other places where they make it, tastes like grass. You gotta get the good stuff. But on top of that, I'm gonna eat this rar bar. I was trying not to eat these every day, but we ordered like 6 boxes of them. They're so good. But it's a super clean bar. There are different types of nuts. This one's a peanut butter base. Some of them are sunflower, cashew butter, different things, but I'm trying to avoid those. So this is the peanut butter I get in for the day. 20 grams of protein, 290 calories. Good amount of fat, but they taste great. I'm gonna have my drink, I'm gonna have my bar. Get on this call, and we'll have a real meal in like an hour and a half. Best clock in the world. This is the meal that varies every single day, depending sometimes on what Courtney's wanting or what I'm wanting. So today, I'm going to be making a burger bowl with turkey instead of beef. If you want this to taste delicious, ground beef, and then you put ketchup and mayo on top, fire, but it's going to be a little healthier. You're going to do turkey and ketchup, maybe a little bit of mustard. We'll see. Some pickles and lettuce. Fire. We're talking about building a healthy gut. It's a diverse gut with a healthy gut, so eating different types of food, especially fruits and vegetables, super helpful to like more diverse gut microbiome with a healthier gut. So I've been just buying random shit that I can put on chicken rice. So I got a bunch of pickled onions, I got pickles, I got like kimchi, different fruits, different vegetables, collections of stuff, frozen smoothie boxes that have like 5 fruits in them, making your smoothie. Super simple, easy things to add in a bunch of extra food that actually just make life more entertaining and actually healthy for you, because you're getting a diverse gut and all the benefits from different types of food. Okay, Courtney's go-to on this is mayonnaise and ketchup. Mix it together and then pour it on top.
It's Big Mac sauce.
It's literally Big Mac sauce. If you do it with ground beef instead of turkey, and make everything the same, bunch of salt in the Big Mac sauce. Look over, Bradley's just so sad.
Come here, we're gonna say bye-bye, little bear. Come to mommy. Come here. Oh, yes.
But yeah, Big Mac sauce is incredible. But I also just drizzled on some olive oil, the Greek Mediterranean heart health hack. And then this meal is 220 grams of ground turkey, 220 grams of rice, and it's like 15 grams, like a tablespoon of olive oil. So it comes up to 741 calories, 48 grams of protein, 32 grams of fat, 63 grams of carbs. I was literally just talking about this, of like the concept of tracking your food and how like important it is. And I wasn't competing, so I just stopped doing it, wasn't thinking about it. And then after tracking for the last 4 or 5 days, because I'm trying to get back on a proper meal plan now that my training's efficient, I was like so off on what I thought I was eating. And I realized when I was actually eating before and I was getting in like 4 or 5, 6,000 calories, it was like 300 grams of rice instead of like 180 like I've been having. Every meal had like olive oil on it. It was like trying to get food in, and now that I'm just eating like not very much, I was probably eating like 2,000 to 2,500 calories, and like my weight just was stagnant. So our wedding is in 6 weeks. Right?
Sorry, I'm not saying no to that. She was putting her head in the
I saw that, I
water.
saw her. I didn't know if it was hot.
Yeah, it's like 6 weeks.
Our wedding's in 6 weeks, so the last couple weeks I've been trying to eat a little bit more. So my body's ready, and I'm going to do like a 4-week cut before the wedding so that I can look good. So that's like my consistent theme that I keep telling myself. But tracking is so important, and we were talking about this on the call I was just on, is like, even if you don't change anything, you just write down what you're eating every single day, you will eat better. Just the conscious thought of knowing what you're putting in your body, and even just the accountability of like, if you eat something shitty, if you're like, someone eats a Snickers bar and you write down Snickers bar, next day you're like Snickers bar, and every day you're writing it down, you're like, you don't feel good writing it down, so you're less likely to eat it, you're at least holding yourself accountable. So just tracking things is super important. And I was relating it to like mindset too, and mental health, and like being able to track what your thoughts are and what you're thinking and your habits, and just like think about it, journal like consistently. If you were to sit down every hour, no one's gonna do this realistically, and like track down what your thoughts are, what you're doing throughout the day consistently, and write it down, you're probably gonna start being like, wow, I have a shit ton of bad habits and a bunch of bad thoughts, and at least now it's in your conscious awareness and you can change it. So there's a quote from my boy Carl Jung: until you make the unconscious conscious, it will control your life, and you'll call it fate. And that's probably one of my favorite quotes ever. People think fate's controlling my life, but it's just your unconscious that you're not taking the time to put into your awareness. So with all that being said, here's my burger bowl. Tastes just like a Big Mac. Okay, so turkey rice, shredded lettuce, pickles, pickled onions, and then a little bit of honey mustard, and then some ketchup. So, nice fresh burger bowl. Alright, so last little thing of the day. Depending on the night, it's always something different. Me and Courtney are big snackers. We got a bunch of cereal in here. We were having these mug cakes that Courtney made with sweet potato and egg white and protein powder. We're having buckwheat with protein powder, all these different things. Or toast. And we go through themes of just having a healthy treat at night of some sort. So toast has been the thing, the taste du jour of the day. I got nothing in my brain right now. Ezekiel bread, cinnamon raisin with some ghee butter. The goated lactose-free butter. So this is gonna wrap up the day. It's nighttime. Baby's sleeping. Gonna fall asleep. So we're in the pantry making toast. I'm losing my mind, I swear to God. But to go over today's calories, to update and finalize this full day of eating, we are at 3,305 calories, 289 grams of protein, 111 grams of fat, and 270 grams of carbs. So, not too shabby. Right, I'm pretty freaking close to my macro goals, honestly, what this tells me to be at. Protein's a little high, but I'm trying to eat huge again. So, pretty much, go a little more. Pretty much like I was saying, I just wasn't eating enough for a while, so my metabolism was slowing down. I wasn't recovering, I wasn't getting enough protein or enough calories, and also my energy was lower. So I'm working on building that up. Still not a crazy amount of food for myself, but the fact that this feels like I'm eating more food recently, and I'm only at 3,300 calories at 250 pounds, is kind of crazy. I can 100% rebuild my metabolism back up by adding more frequent, smaller meals throughout the day, to the point where I could probably be like 3 to 4% body fat wise leaner, eating the same amount of food. Like, it's 100% possible if you do it right and you slowly build it up without adding too much food fast, without adding too much shitty food, keeping your carbs at the right times of the day, not too heavy in the morning, eating your carbs around training and having protein in, and just those small frequent meals. So that's going to be what my goal is going to be, to rebuild it up a little bit. I don't have a lot of time, given I want to be like slim faced and kind of lean for my wedding, which is in like a month and a half, so really not that far away. So I'm going to do the best I can until then, and then after the wedding, I'm going to eat as much as I possibly can in Europe, because food there is incredible, and it's just way easier to eat, and you're in Europe. So I'm going to eat as much as I can, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to try and get jacked and shredded as possible. So that will be its own series when I come back. Mini Olympia prep series type thing. But that's it. The full day of eating. Hope you guys like it. Maybe these will actually be a little bit different now that I'm not in prep. I can eat a little bit more off what I would typically eat, even though I'm still here eating fucking potato, turkey, and rice and chicken. Old habits die hard. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.